Welcome to the Kids Kingdom. Please like, share, and subscribe the channel. Press the bell icon.
Queen Elsa of Arendelle had always been deeply connected to nature. With her extraordinary ice powers, she could create majestic snowfalls and beautiful ice sculptures. But as she looked out over her kingdom one bright morning, she felt a growing unease. The once lush rivers were dwindling, and the lakes, which should have been full and sparkling, were receding. Day after day, she saw villagers leaving taps running, children playing with hoses for hours, and fountains splashing water without regard. Elsa said to Anna had to do something drastic to make their people understand the seriousness of the situation. One evening, Elsa stood on the balcony of her ice palace, deep in thought. The solution came to her like a cold breeze. She would use her magic to teach her people a lesson they would never forget. She told the plan to Anna, and with a determined heart, she cast a powerful spell over Arendelle. Her ice magic swirled through the air, turning every drop of water into ice. The next morning, the people of Arendelle awoke to a startling sight. The streams had turned into solid ice. The wells were frozen over, and the fountains stood still, their water trapped in icy sculptures. There was no running water anywhere in the kingdom. Panic spread like wildfire as people realized they couldn't drink, cook, or even wash. Crowds gathered in the town square, murmuring anxiously. Children cried for water, and farmers worried about their crops and animals. The situation grew dire, and the people knew they had only one person to turn to, Queen Elsa. A delegation of villagers, led by the wise old woman, Ingrid, made their way to the ice palace. Elsa awaited them in the grand hall, her expression calm but resolute. The people fell silent as Ingrid stepped forward, her voice trembling. "Your Majesty," she began, "we beg for your help. The water has frozen everywhere, and we cannot live without it. We are desperate. Please, lift this spell and restore our water." Elsa looked at the gathered crowd, her heart heavy. She had expected this reaction, but she also knew that this was the moment to impart a crucial lesson. "My dear people," she said, her voice echoing through the hall, "I cast this spell not out of cruelty, but out of necessity. Water is a precious resource, vital for our survival, yet we have taken it for granted. We waste it without thinking of the consequences. If we do not change our ways, we will face a future where water is truly scarce." The crowd murmured in agreement, guilt washing over their faces. Elsa continued, her tone softening. "Imagine a world where there is no water left," she said. "A world where our rivers run dry, our crops wither, and our children suffer. This frozen spell is a glimpse of that future. We must learn to value and conserve our water. Only then can we ensure a prosperous and sustainable future for Arendelle." Ingrid nodded, her eyes filled with understanding. "We see the wisdom in your actions, Your Majesty. We promise to change our ways and to teach our children the importance of conserving water." The crowd echoed Ingrid's promise, their voices resolute. Elsa smiled, a glimmer of hope in her heart. "Very well," she said. "I will lift the spell, but remember this lesson. Water is life, and we must protect it." With a graceful wave of her hand, Elsa lifted the spell. The ice melted, and water flowed freely once more. The people cheered, relief and gratitude evident on their faces. They hurried to fill their buckets and quench their thirst, but now, they did so with a newfound respect for the precious resource.